Hello and welcome to another video and podcast from Fantasy Football Scout. My name is Joe, and in this regular weekly piece of content I usually pick out the best players for the current game week, but this time is a little different as I'm wildcarding, so I thought it might be quite to reveal some of the players in my thoughts and my current draft so far. If you do like this content, please press that like button, really helps us out, and do remember to subscribe, keep up to date with our latest videos and podcasts. Also do remember to check out fantasyfootballscout.co.uk for latest membership offers to get access to all the latest tools and gadgets to help you climb up your mini leagues. We've been nominated for the Best in Fantasy Football Organisation category in the Football Content Awards. Please do vote for us. There's details of how to do that all in the description, wherever you're listening and watching this. So let's have a look. What I'm going to do is going to look at the fixtures. I'm going to look at some of the reasons why I'm wildcarding now, and this will help those who are wildcarding or not wildcarding, just want to make transfers. And also, I'll look at some of the key differences between last week and also looking ahead to Game Week 8. Ideally, I would have liked to wildcard in Game Week 8. But circumstances have conspired to prevent that. I'll also obviously reveal the team, and I'll have a look at how it's looking in Game Week 8 and 9 as well, because my wildcard is with a view to bench boosting. So that's what. So if you've already used your bench boost, some of your picks will be slightly different because I've tailored my bench players, in particular my enablers, to those that have had a good fixture in Game Weeks 8 or 9. I undecided which one to do, and I think events during the international break may conspire to decide whether I use it in Game Week 8 or 9 or not. Okay, let's have a look at the fixtures. Okay, so these are the fixtures sorted by difficulty in the Fantasy Football Scout members area from Game Week 7 through to Game Week 12. These show that this is where Arsenal's very good run starts. They've got West Ham, Fulham, Crystal Palace, Burnley, Sunderland and Tottenham. It's a great run. So they look great for premium picks. Gokeres, Saka, Gabriel is a premium defender as well. We could go for double Arsenal defence. Lots of clean sheet potential there. While apart from Haaland, Man City are bottom here. So perhaps they can wait. I mean, Haaland can't. He's already in my team. Was last week, so a great entry point there. But Man City, yeah, they're bottom of the ticker. Mixed fixtures, really. I know it's Man City, so it's one of those form over fixtures moments. But they've got Brentford away. It's okay. Everton at home, good. Aston Villa away, okay. Bournemouth at home, okay. Liverpool at home, and then Newcastle. So the fixtures are mixed, but I think so. I'm not like heavy on Man City, and I think that's a key difference. I think we've seen like Reinders a bit more. Might see a Man City defender Game Week 6, but I don't think you're going to see, because they were playing Burnley Game Week 6, but I don't think you're going to see too much of that. So yeah, I'm less Man City mad, but obviously Haaland will be there. That's not really a big spoiler. Be odd if I didn't. Wolves are second and Brighton are third. They actually play each other in Game Week 7, but Wolves have Sunderland and Burnley, Fulham, and Brighton have. Bearing in mind, Brighton do better against top 6 sides. They've got Manchester United, that's an easy one for them. Newcastle, that's fine for them. They've got Wolves away. They've got Leeds at home as well. Brentford at home and Crystal Palace away. Crystal Palace are in great form at the moment. Crystal Palace and Brighton, that's a derby game, so anything goes. Leeds as well, they're fourth. They're good for the enablers, really good for Game Weeks 8 and 9, bench boosting. They've got Tottenham, then Game Week 8 they've got Burnley, and then they've got West Ham, Game Week 9. So Game Week 8 marginally better, but pretty good. But they've also got Nottingham Forest and Brighton and Aston Villa over that period as well. Everton have dipped down a little bit. The pictures start getting a bit mixed. Man City, Tottenham, Crystal Palace. Dewsbury Hall was in my side. He is now suspended for Game Week 7. So perhaps there's a better picks in that market maybe to go for. Chelsea, they got Liverpool away, but their fixtures do improve. Nottingham Forest, Sunderland, Tottenham, Wolves, Burnley. But they've also got a lot of European. They've got European matches. Well, a lot of teams have at the moment, but they're also contending with a lot of injuries. Who's going to start? I don't know. I mean, I think Pedro has been suspended now in the Champions League. He's got a red card, so that'll boost his minutes, you would imagine. But his form's dropped off. in recent months, so recent weeks. Tottenham's fixtures still good. Leeds, Aston Villa, Everton, Chelsea, Manchester United. So you want a bit of them. And West Ham are interesting. New manager. They got Arsenal. But this is going to be a big difference in Game Week 7 and Game Week 8. Game Week 8, you're suddenly looking at Brentford at home, Leeds away, Newcastle, Burnley at home, Bournemouth away. Much better set of fixtures. So Bowen and Diouf are going to be on Game Week 8 wildcards. Not both, maybe just one of them. But those are the two names there. So, yeah, they're definitely under consideration, really, because, I mean, you know, not a great Game Week 7 for them. Crystal Palace mixed fixtures. You know, they got Arsenal, but they do have Bournemouth and Brentford at home, which are okay for them. Bournemouth are very good. Bournemouth are just, Semenyo's just has to be a lock, really, still, even though the fixtures turn a bit around Game Week 10. They've got Man City. Aston Villa, well, I say they turn. They've just got Man City. They've got some good fixtures there. Brentford, Liverpool, interesting. A lot of people say, oh, their fixtures turn in Game Week 8. I don't think they do. I think they turn about sort of Game Week 12, 13. It's a mixed bag, really. Game Week 7, Chelsea. Yeah, they got Manchester United at home. But I don't really like the look of either Liverpool or Manchester United at the moment for picks. Salah, is he worth that 14.5 million? Not sure. Who else do you go for? Wirtz, Gakpo, in and out the side. Ekitike, Isak, who's going to start? Don't know. Can they keep a clean sheet? No. And they got Brentford, Aston Villa, Man City, Nottingham Forest. Some good fixtures, but I wouldn't say it's a great run. They're third from bottom on the fixture ticker there. Everton's fixtures become more mixed, so I think that's going to be another change. We're going to see a bit less Everton. And as I said, the promoted sides look good for a bench boost 8, also 9. I posted something up on social media earlier this week, just looking at the differences between a Game Week 6 and a Game Week 7 wild card. So I think we're going to see less Tarkowskis. We're going to see less Raya, which is going to be interesting because I think there might be a better goalkeeper. And Dye, I think we're going to see less of. Reinders, I think there's more competition now in that sort of 5.5-ish price point. Pedro, I think we're going to see less of him. I think people are going a little bit off Chelsea at the moment, even though the fixtures do turn Game Week 8. But yeah, is Pedro going to be the best? And so Stack as well. I think we might see some more interesting picks. So in the big changes, I think Nick Pope at Newcastle, I think is interesting. Newcastle's fixtures turn now. Nottingham Forest at home, Brighton away, Fulham at home, West Ham away, Brentford, and then Man City. So Man City's tough, Game Week 12, but the rest of it looked pretty good. Clean sheets. Alderati as well, after his mega haul in Game Week 6, is going to be on more people's radar. I have seen him on a lot of Game Week 6 wildcards already, so I think we're going to see more of him. Double Arsenal attack, not defence. That's something to weigh up. But I think I prefer the double Arsenal attack than defence there, because Pope as well, so I wouldn't like Raya. And I just think more interesting differential mids, really. Minter at Brighton, because Brighton's fixtures really improved now. Anthony, Jaden Anthony, who those that follow the video and podcast I do with FPL General every week. Every week I ask him to get Jaden Anthony in because he's a great differential. Every week he scores, and every week he ignores me. So I'll say it again next week. And then a cheap forward as well. I think we might see some more of that. I think Bowen could be an interesting one to get in early. But a cheap forward, I think Strand Larson at Wolves could look good. Foster at Burnley. I'm thinking with a bench boost 8 or 9 in mind, and to invest more in defence and midfield. So that's some of the changes I think we're going to get here. So let's have a look at my target. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the team up, and I'll just briefly explain why I'm wildcarding now. Because wildcarding, you'll see people saying, "Oh, Game Week 8 is better, Game Week 12 is better, Game Week 13 is better, Game Week 6 is better." It depends on your team. My team, yeah, I would have liked to have waited till Game Week 8, but things conspired that way. So here's the transfer targets, and I'll read it out in a second for those listening to the podcast version. So why I'm wildcarding now, my team just needed it. So I had 4 players in the Chelsea-Liverpool game for Game Week 7, and 2 of them can't even play. That's Mark Gui, just can't get a minute, and Tosin, he's injured. Yeah, 2 of the players. Yeah, so that was a problem there. So I had no Villa. So I think if you've got Villa, they're playing Burnley, and then their fixtures are a bit rougher. So you would keep them, but I don't have any Villa, so no need to wait to 8. I had no Arsenal, so I could only make my 1 free transfer to 1 Arsenal player. I wasn't pleased with all of my enablers, and obviously one of those being Dewsbury Hall, who was injured. So Game Week 7 would have been a massive struggle for me. And then I looked forward to Game Week 8. I keyed in more or less of most of the players I've got here for Game Week 8. And I thought, my team's going to be, I can get them for Game Week 7 and it'd be better. And already 2 or 3 of them have gone up in price already. So Game Week 8, we're going to see more Bowen, deal a bit of Chelsea maybe. I might move on to a Chelsea player. And I think Salah and Haaland drafts I've tried, but in fact I had one for my Game Week 6 side, but it just showed how weak I think that is. Only 3 players returned for me, and one of them was triple captain Haaland with 48 points. So that papered over cracks. I cannot rely on that every week. So I can't rely on 8, 9, 10 players blanking every week, and they were poor. So time to move on. Okay. So I'll read out the team, then I'll go through each player in turn there. So I've got Nick Pope in goal. And this is for my Game Week 7 side of my wildcard. I've got 3-5-2. I've got Van de Ven, Tottenham. He's away to Leeds. I've got Senesi. He's the Bournemouth defender, the Defcon beast. He's at home to Fulham. Gabriel, home to West Ham. I've got Bruno Fernandes in there. I'll come to him in a sec. Sunderland at home. Saka, West Ham at home. Minter for Brighton. Wolves away. Semenyo, got Fulham at home. Jadon Anthony, FPL Gem. Oh, I would love it at some point by Game Week 38, FPL Gem will get Jadon Anthony and he'll listen to me. Anyway, Aston Villa, all his goals will dry up by then. Aston Villa away, not too bad. Gyökeres up front, West Ham at home. Haaland, Brentford away, and he'll be my captain. I've got my bench Dubravka, Aston Villa at home. Lyle Foster from Burnley, Aston Villa away. Alderete, Manchester United away. And Rodon, Tottenham at home. I think that's probably the best bench there. So yeah, so what I've done for this is the aim is to have a sort of a flexibility, so I can hop on and off bandwagons based on any injuries. So it's basically going to be a 3-5-2, 4-4-2 in the main. The cheap striker does actually play like Mark Gui, so that's an upgrade there. And I think and with a bench boost in Game Week 8 or 9, and I'll show you what both of those will look like. Game Week 8 comes straight after the internationals. I'll be amazed if all 15 of my players survive that. I might have to use a transfer if I wanted to use a bench boost then. I might just hold it for Game Week 9. I'll have a bit more security of starts and possibly save a transfer. So I'll have 2 free transfers to really upgrade that for a better bench boost, maybe. So I'm marginally thinking about a Game Week 9 one as well, because I don't trust the first. I don't think I've ever had a week after an international without at least one sub being used. As players come back from Argentina, Japan, Brazil, wherever. There's always one who just gets a rest or maybe gets a 1 point. It's a bit annoying. Okay, the team. Pope. He's got 4 clean sheets in 6. He's had 3 bonus points in a Newcastle side with a strong fixture run and question marks in attack. He looks a reliable source of points. Save points in 3 out of 6 matches as well. I like him. I think he's the sort of go-to pick for me for a Game Week 7 wildcard as well. Game Week 8 wildcards might have Sanchez sneaking in there, but I do prefer Pope. Defenders, Gabriel, he's first name in really. Clean sheets. He's getting Defcon points as well. And with 17 goals and 3 assists since 2020, not this season, since 2020. He's got a great pedigree. That's a lot for a defender. And his most recent goal was, of course, at the weekend, the winner against West Ham. Arsenal have a great run as well for the fixtures. So clean sheets are likely there, I believe. I really like that. I'm just looking at Arsenal's run. West Ham, Fulham, Crystal Palace, Burnley, Sunderland, Tottenham. I think there's you could get like 5 clean sheets out of that run, really. I like him a lot. Van de Ven there, he's actually my biggest question mark. But I like the price. He's 4.7, 4.8 now. So there's lots of other players that I could pick in that role. But I like Tottenham's fixtures. And I think his fixtures dictated that. Also, I can't get out of my head the way Thomas Frank uses his centre-backs or defenders at set pieces as well. And by coincidence, in the Champions League last night, I'm recording this on Wednesday, by the way, Champions League on Tuesday, Van de Ven scored. So that's what I think he offers me there, occasional hauls, and he's already got hauls in FPL. And I'm not sure I want Anderson until game week 10, really, which is when I might make the swap because Tottenham's poor run starts there. So he's a sort of Van der Ven Anderson type role there. So Tottenham got Leeds, Aston Villa, Everton, brilliant. Game week 10, then they got Chelsea, Manchester United, Arsenal, not so good. Well, Manchester United, arguably. Meanwhile, Fulham, trying to find them. Yeah, they're here. So they got Bournemouth, Arsenal, Newcastle next. I don't like any of them for clean sheets. I'm not sure I'd play him, Anderson. But then he's got Wolves, Everton, Sunderland. So it's people say, oh, you've booked in a transfer, but I don't mind keeping Van der Ven, but I think Anderson would be a great move. So if I can, I'll go for Anderson, game week 10. There. So yeah, just going back to them, and Senesi, yeah, he's another sort of not essential pick, but look at him. DEFCON have just made him essential. He's getting them in every match with some strong fixtures for Fulham. Lots of strong fixtures for him against Fulham, Forest, Aston Villa, West Ham over the next 6. So lots of clean sheet potential too. Plus, he's got two assists, so he's no stranger for attacking returns. The greatest defender we never knew we needed. That's what I've described him as. Midfields. I've got Saka. I like what I've seen with Saka so far. I hope he's safe in Europe tonight. I'm recording this before. So if he gets injured or anything like that, I will be looking to make, obviously, a replacement there. And I would possibly be looking at maybe Sarr from Crystal Palace, who's not here. I think he would be next on my list. I might go for another Arsenal midfielder as well. Eze maybe, but yeah, I think I would go for Sarr because I think I would like him more long term. But anyway, I like what I've seen with him. I think he's got increased minutes with Madueke injured. I like what he offers with the structure for my side as well. So I can easily get onto a Palmer. I could get onto a Salah by downgrading Bruno Fernandes. I've got here. So Bruno Fernandes and Saka, I could go for Salah if I desperately need him. Obviously Haaland as well, Gyökeres. These are all sort of cash cow ones. I've seen a lot of midfields with a lot of 5-6 million, all of them. And they're not spending much more on their midfield. And I just think that's structurally, I wouldn't like that. I would like I would like money tied up in one or two players that I can move on, that I'm happy to move on. So yeah, I think it would be a bit too inflexible. I think I like what Saka offers me, and that's why I prefer 2 Arsenal attackers rather than 2 defenders at the moment there. I've only had him for 1 game week this season, and he got me a goal before he got injured. So a good record so far with him. Bruno Fernandes, it's that flexibility is another reason I've gone for him. He's on penalties, well, hopefully we'll score them against Sunderland. But he's just a walking cash cow for me. I'm happy to keep in any fixture, happy to ditch him. And him and Saka give me just so much flexibility to hop on bandwagons, Chelsea in mind from game week 8 onwards there. So I can't see him being on my side for that long. Price points just guide me for those that follow my content. And I always like these sort of players around that 8.9 million marks. You can go up and down quite easily. I call this the Christian Eriksen place in my team. Happy to hold, happy to dump. I've got Minter here. I think he's great value, under 6 million. Great enabler. I want a couple of players priced around 5 to 6. I think it's a great price point there for... you've got Dewsbury Hall, from game week 8. I mean, although a tough fixture for Everton then, but from game week 8, he's a strong asset. Stack's still okay for Leeds. Xhaka at Sunderland's pretty good. And Sarr, just a little bit more. I think he's 6'4" now. Sarr, a very good option. The 2 I've gone for, though, one of them is Minter at Brighton. Great fixtures. He looks Brighton's best player. He's second for penalty box touches this season amongst midfielders. Only Grealish has more. He's had 10 shots, a goal and 2 assists already. If I'm wrong here, there are plenty of options to replace him. Unlike some content you may see, they'll be very adamant, I'm getting this player and this player's going to do well. I always start with the proviso I'm wrong. And can I run away from that player? If I'm right with any of these players, I'll be delighted. But if I'm wrong, I want to better move away. And as I said, there's plenty of options to move away from Minter. Anthony as well. I can run away from him. Every week, I tell FPL General to get him in every week. Anyway, one day he will. Anthony's goals are just going in most weekends at the moment. Can he keep that up? Of course he can't. but he's the second highest scoring midfielder in the game at the moment with 4 goals and assists. Pretty much the talisman for Burnley, just gone up in price. And he's absolutely tailor-made for a bench boost team for game weeks 8 and 9 when Burnley have very two strong fixtures. Semenyo is in there as well. He's essential, top scoring midfielder. Bournemouth's main threat, 4 goals, 2 assists. Enough said. Just keep him, get him, keep him, get him. Just everybody inside. Up front, I've got Haaland. Obviously, not much more to be said about him. His 8 goals and 1 assist. He single-handedly carried me and millions of other, hundreds of thousands of other FPL managers to respectability in Game Week 7. He looks capable in any game. And as I said, I don't realistically like Haaland and Salah together. I think it's going to be one or the other. And at the moment, it's got to be Haaland. Gyökeres joins him up front. The narrative is that he's a flat-track bully, and I'm buying into that with great fixtures. He's already got 3 goals this season already. 2 against Leeds. Was it Leeds, I think? So that just proves the point. He scored... And I have to check this, and feel free to correct me. He scored 54 times last season and assisted a further 13. I can't believe that's right. Anyway, that's what I looked at, and I did triple check it, so do let me know. Admittedly, many of these were in the Portuguese league, but it shows against easy defences what the former Brighton man can do. Obviously, get a plug in there. On the bench boost in mind, Dubravka, game week 8 and 9, you can bench boost him. Lyle Foster, game week 8 and 9, good first sub anyway, but then you can field him if necessary. But he's also good for the bench boost. I very rarely will get him in my team. I think Alderete, game weeks 8 and 9, okay for a bench boost and a good sub any week. It's with Alderete though. He's not totally nailed on. But game week 7, he's got Manchester United away, so I'll be benching him anyway. Then you've got Wolves at home, game week 8, that's good. Chelsea away, game week 9, so that's not ideal. So I might, if I was, I may even move him on. And Diouf at West Ham could be in the reckoning there. He's got Leeds away, game week 9. So there's a possibility that I won't go for Alderete. I'll instead go for Diouf with a sort of game week 9 wildcard in mind, bench boost in mind, but also with Diouf as well. He's got Brentford at home in game week 8, so he's another one that I could actually still use for a bench boost game week 8. So yeah, I think that's possibly up in the air there. And also I've got also complete the bench is Rodon. Once again, game week 8, 9. Bench boost. He's been in my team already, and because my team's been so bad up to this point, I've had to play him. And one of the benefits of having like Mark Huey and Tosin and players that aren't playing is that you have to play Rodon, and he's getting every home game. He's getting like 7 points, so he's going to be benched by so many people. So yeah, he's a player I don't mind playing a lot of this time. So main issues really Van de Ven. Or Anderson, but I think Van de Ven's going to get that. Brian Mbomo is another issue as well. I could go for him. And also that getting that sort of Diouf as well. So one of Rodon or Alderete might go, maybe Alderete. Rodon I'm a bit more tied to because he's already in my side. When you get rid of a player and then they do well or you want to keep them, it's a bit annoying. But Alderete's sort of new to me. There. Okay, I've got I've got 0.4 in the bank here, so very low value. And the expected points is 59. That's quite high. Anything above 55 is really good. Getting towards 60, you're looking at a really good team. According to the FPL Planner tool, expected points 59, and the percentage there is 97%. So 97 out of 100. So the dream of getting 100% continues there. Just before I go, I just want to show what this team will look like in game week 8. I use the Planner tool. A Fantasy Football Scouts app for this. So this is if I used a bench boost in game week 8, and it says I'll get 66 points, which is very good, 95% rating, very strong there. So if I didn't make any transfers and I bench boosted here, if I didn't bench boost, it would still get me about 54, 55 points, which is pretty good. So this would have Dubravka, Foster, Rodon, Van de Ven on the bench. Van de Ven at home to Aston Villa, Rodon away to Burnley, Foster at home to Leeds, and Dubravka at home to Leeds. So I don't know what I'm off after there. 0-0, possibly a goal from Foster, penalty save. I don't know, but I think I'm projected to get to about 12 points from that one. So it's quite good. Bench boost 9. Similarly, 66 points, 94% rating. And this bench would have Dubravka and Foster still. They're away to Wolves, still pretty good fixture there. I think I prefer the other one, but yeah, I don't have any Wolves assets, so no one's against each other there. Van der Ven remains on the bench because Rodon actually goes into my side at home to West Ham. But Van der Ven or Rodon, whichever, take your pick. They're both good assets there. And I've got Alderete there. He's the weakest one there. So with this one, Bruno Fernandes is still there, so he could move. And Alderete, I do like the thought of getting Diouf in from West Ham, and I think I will. I mean, Alderete's already gone up to 4.1, but I don't know. Yeah, it's game week 8. I don't even know if it would play in game week 8, but I didn't bench boost, you see. So anyway, so there's plenty to think about there. I hope that's been a use. Future videos, I'll stick to the usual format of looking at that specific game week. So I'll be, next time out, I'll be looking at game week 8 as if I had an imaginary free hit every week, and I'll be looking at the top transfer targets then. But I thought we'd do a little bit different this time because you're wildcarding. You only get 2 a year, and people are always interested in wildcards, whether you're wildcarding or not. You see what you're up against or what you want to do. But that's me. Works for my team, I think. And I've got a plan in place. Famous last words. Good luck to me, wildcarding. Good luck to you watching and listening. Please do leave comments below about some of those wildcard picks and whether what you're doing whether you've already wildcarded, whether you're happy, when you might be using your wildcard as well, and some of the key picks as well. Help everyone else out in the chats. Thanks a lot for your time. Take care. See you soon.